Yo, what's up guys? So this is the fastest way that I found out how to farm energy activators so far. So we're going to go through them kind of one after another in order, just so you can get a better idea of what's going on here. So let's start off with the low carbon activators. So these can be farmed in Kingston in the Fallen Theater. So if we go to the Fallen Theater, all you need to do is just click on that button. So here's what you need to do first. So before you kind of TP in, you want to make sure that your instance is on private. It will be set to public by default. Just make sure it's set to private, and this kind of gives you your own little world, because if it is set to public, they can just, people have already done them, so it's already on cooldown. You want to make sure that you can do it, and so it's not on cooldown for you and you're not waiting 5 minutes. And then when you TP in, it's probably going to be available for you. Go and do it, and then it will go on a 5-minute kind of cooldown timer. If it has, then go to the Grand Square, just TP to the Grand Square, and then just TP back again to the Fallen Theater, and it should come off cooldown. The max I've needed to do this is about 3 times, and that definitely saves like the 5 minutes of like cooldown time, just waiting around for 5 minutes for this to kind of refresh. So just TP out, TP back in, and then you'll be able to do the Fallen Theater again. So your next resource is going to be the Conductive Metal Foil, and this can be found in the Vespers, and they're going to be in the Encrypted Vault. So if you haven't come across an Encrypted Vault yet, they're kind of these kind of statue figures, and then you go into them, you open them. You're going to need, on hard mode, you're going to need code breakers, and you get them just by farming any mission. There are specific farms for them, but the best way to find them is in the Timber Falls, and the reason for that is because they're usually on this uber straight line in the Timber Fall from the Timber Fall outpost, and you just follow the outside of this. I will put some video up here to show you the route that I take for it. But you spawn in outpost in Timberfall, you run along the outside here, and then you jump onto the there's like a tower, and there's maybe one up there. Make sure that you are pinging by a tab all the way through, just to get an idea of which direction you need to be kind of running in. But make sure that you are pinging using tab, and then you run all the way through, and then you jump over that tower, and you run to the caves that are at the back of the Timber Falls here, and there'll be like a small little entrance over a rock. A giant rock will be here. On the other side of that rock will be an open kind of cave. You run through the cave, and if there's none in there, you're probably going to start getting pings before, so you don't necessarily need to go through in order to kind of hear if anything's in there. Once you hit that giant rock and ping, and if there's nothing there, then there's probably nothing in the waterfall. So then what you want to do is just TP out to the ruins, and then TP back in again to reset that instance, and then follow the same route. And if nothing's there, TP out and TP back into Timber Falls, and then run the same route again, and there's probably going to be one in there. So there's a really good run for the heat plasma batteries, and this is the fastest run that I found so far. There's a mission in the Hagios the Haven, and there it does drop from a monster. I will put this up on the screen as well. I'll kind of like run through it real quick. But there is the Haven Hagios mission. So if we just kind of come out of here, the easiest way to access this mission is you come over to the search info kind of area here where you do the missions, the giant kind of orange globe. We search info, go infiltration operations hard, and then we got the Hagios mission just here, the Haven again. We're going to click on that. All you need to do, you don't need to press any of these, because all that they do is they help drop the morphics. Okay, so when you spawn in, you're just gonna literally just run it down. You don't want to kill anything here. There's no point in anything here, because all we're here for is the heat plasma batteries. And once you're in this area, want to kill these kind of devices. There's a few waves that are gonna spawn in, and you just want to just clear these waves out. So once you've destroyed the second device, there will be a wave that spawns here. And then, as you see, this orb kind of spawns. And then we have this guy here. We see the yellow HB. We're just going to one-shot him. He's the one that drops the heat plasma batteries. Then once you get that 12, just return to Albion. And just keep running that over and over and over again until you get a surplus of heat plasma batteries. But that's the fastest that I found out how to get them so far. So the best way that I found out how to farm the polyatomic ion particles is in the fortress. And there's one mission that drops quite a lot, and it's also quite short as well. It is the munitions loading dock. It's going to be that mission, and that mission is can be run in sub 5 minutes. So that does drop the ion particles, and it will also take you sub 5 minutes to farm. So that's the quickest way that we found out so far. Okay, so the energy activator blueprint is going to be the most difficult thing to farm in this kind of run, because it relies on a 6% drop chance in order for you to get them from the boss. But the fastest way to actually acquire the amorphics for the blueprints is this way so far. I've done a ton of farming for this to find out the fastest way for you to actually get these, and it is in the Kingston Magister's Lab mission. So if we go into the search info mission with the orange globe, we go to the Magister's Lab, and this mission should take around, it says it takes 10 minutes per mission, and obviously it depends how fast you are and how hard you hit, but I can do this in sub 4 minutes with my current bunny build. If you want to have a look at that, it's in the previous video. And then it will drop these amorphics. You want to make sure in these amorphics that on the first set of them, it doesn't actually drop energy activators. So you want to make sure that on the top right hand, you change the reward and make sure that you get the second option to where we can get the 57 morphics here, and then that will give us the energy activator. So that's one of the, I would say, the most important thing to do. Make sure you change the reward so you get the energy activators, and then what you want to do is just keep running it down to acquire them. I wouldn't put any of the kind of like difficulty modifiers on, because one, it just makes the run slower, and two, it doesn't feel like it drops any more than it does normally. I run it down and I get 1 or 2. One's pretty much guaranteed every time, and it doesn't feel like it drops any more than it already does. Once you get the energy activators, these ones will be for the I believe it's for the executioner. I just want to have a quick check of that real quick, but I believe it is for the executioner on hard mode. Yeah. So those ones drop the 58s, 57s. There we go. So we got the 57s. What I would do is get 5 and then just run the executioner 5 times. And if you don't get one, just do it another 5 times, or just go and do something else if you get bored, right? But that's what I do. I get enough materials in order to be able to run it 5 times, and then I do that. But yeah, guys, that's going to be me for this video. I hope this helps you out with farming energy activators, and I'll see you in the next one.